มาชิกคณะปันสงเครื่องเชียนปรัชญาเปลี่ยนสามัคคีกลมนันเนียสังคมบอมรากาเปลี่ยกัมพูชีหมายตรงรบเนียเตรียมเพียสันเสรีไอ้กระเรียนโบราณเพียมอาทัมปไตยหมายเราใส่ปโดปดันไทยรักษามันอ้อยบ่ตึงเฉลียนเปลี่ยนหมกตรวจตราสมบัติโดนตาทนเทียนเจียดขมาย
And welcome. Thank you for joining our show. This is Khmer Youth Voices for Justice, part of the CNRP America live show. My name is Linda Wu. Today is May the 25th, 2021. Thank you and welcome to the show. I normally start the show right away, so I would like to actually say hello to my audience and also see how if my audience have any questions for me or want to talk about anything. So I would like to say hi to Mr. Pansari. Good afternoon, good evening, actually. I am from Los Angeles, California, so it is 6 p.m. Mr. Pansari is in Wellington, New Zealand, so it's afternoon for him. So welcome and thank you for joining our show. Also, thank you, Mr. Simon, for being here. Thank you, Wanaton, for being here as well. Thank you, Bong. And thank you, Linda Long, for joining us today. It's over here, it's a beautiful, almost summer weather like. So hopefully wherever you at, wherever you are viewing this show, watching this show, hopefully you are, the weather is nice and you're able to get out of the house and enjoy the beautiful day. And thank you, Mr. David Ditt, for joining our show. You are, I believe, my top fan. You every here, he is every week. So thank you, Mr. David, for being here today. And as always, thank you. Let's start our show. Again, my name is Linda Wu. Thank you, our audience, and thank you, three of my guests that I'm going to introduce later on for being on our show today. Before we start, let's support one of our campaign that is ending impunity for justice in Cambodia. Our campaign is at change.org. Please help to support by signing and sharing and help everyone that need help to sign the petition. It is very important because that's the only way that we can find justice for the victim of state-backed killing in Cambodia. So the title of the petitions is Ending Impunity for Justice in Cambodia. I have a short clip by Her Excellency Mosahur. She will go into detail regarding these petitions or campaign. Thank you, and let me find the campaign, and then please watch a little clip, and then help to share and sign the petition. Thank you.
Between 1975 and 1979, the green rice fields of Cambodia became the killing fields of Cambodia. Over 2 million lives were lost, including the lives of my own parents and many of my relatives. The Khmer Rouge wanted a society that is equal according to them. We still live and we are haunted with the legacy of the Khmer Rouge, which is the culture of impunity that continues to exist in Cambodia today. It is for this reason that we have started a campaign, worldwide campaign, a campaign to end impunity in Cambodia by seeking justice for cases, for the executions, for the killings that are organized, that are backed by the state. Among those cases of state-backed killings are the killings of Chivichir, the very famous trade union leader, Bisep Pilaka, a ballet dancer, or Kemley, an independent analyst, or Chutvuti, a well-known environmentalist, or Venerable Sun Bunthun, who was advocating for the monks to have the right to vote, including workers who demanded fair wages. The campaign will also advocate for governments that are members of the United Nations to put pressure on the government of Cambodia to conduct independent investigations by using universal tools such as the UN Protocol for Independent Investigation. The campaign will also advocate for governments that believe and want to protect universal human rights to impose sanctions on the leaders of the government of Cambodia who are implicated in these state-backed extrajudicial killings. We ask you to be with us, to support us, to be part of a campaign to end the culture of impunity in Cambodia and to find justice for those who have been waiting for justice for their loved ones killed by the state. There cannot be real peace unless there is justice. There cannot be justice unless there is independent investigation. And then to take those cases to an independent justice system. Join us by signing on this petition. Thank you.
យើងរួមគ្នាបញ្ចប់នីតិរដ្ឋភាពដើម្បីយុត្តិធម៌នៅកម្ពុជា
Thank you and welcome back. As of right now, we have over 84,800 signatures so far, but still it's a long way. We are looking for 500,000 signatures, but as right now, I said I'm just checking change.org. It's 84,000 over 800 signature. Please still do help to sign and support, and please help to share our petitions at change.org. I have three wonderful guests today. One of them, she is brand new guest, and I'm glad that she's here today. So I'm going to introduce her first, and then so that way our audience get to know her. Her name is Brittany Baker. She is from Columbus, Ohio. Let me bring her out. Brittany, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to be here and to learn from you and be a part of this campaign. I appreciate the opportunity.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? You're from Columbus, Ohio, but I'm assuming since you are here in Columbus, Ohio, and you are here in the CNRP America TV show, you probably know something a little bit about Cambodia. Can you help our audience and basically introduce yourself?
Sure. I was a volunteer in Cambodia from 2016 to 2019, working in one of the provinces at a government school. Since then, I have continued my work with the Cambodian community here in Columbus, Ohio, where I teach ESL and where I'm a community social worker.
And you're still teaching ESL right now, or is that something in the past?
No, I'm teaching now. Mostly because of the pandemic, we're studying online mostly, but still active with meeting the needs of the community here in Columbus.
So is your student, is it older people? Is it my age or younger generations, or what? Can you describe your student?
Yeah, sure. I mostly teach adults, ESL, and but I also work in the high schools too. So I work with all new Americans, some the Khmer community that has been here for 30, 40 years, up until newer arrived immigrants. So both in high schools and then also in adult education.
Thank you, Brittany. Your field is very important for the community of Columbus, Ohio, because without speaking English, without knowing English, it's going to be tough to live here. And thank you for your work on that.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me put my second guest on. My second guest, her name is Sita Arunson. She is the CNRPA supporter in California. Chim hiệp suốt bong.
Linda. Thank you for having me. I'm good. Thank you for having me again.
No, thank you for being here. We love you being here.
Oh, thank you.
How you been?
Doing well. Busy at work as usual. Just got home from work and trying to settle in right now.
Is work picking up, or is it still slow? Is it affected from COVID-19 at all?
No, we never slow down. Even the COVID-19. As a social worker, I'm also a social worker. I heard Brittany is also a social worker and a teacher. We did not slow down, even though we could not see people in person. We have to communicate with them online, or on the phone mostly, and also online via Zoom as well.
Thank you, Bong, and thank you as always for being here, for making time, running away from work, and being here today. Thank you, Bong.
Glad to help.
My third guest is, you know him almost every other week. His name is Sammady. He is one of the youth that always here. Let me see. Hi, Sammady. Chim hiệp suốt. Cannot hear you.
Chim hiệp suốt, Bong. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Did you finish final, or how's your final? Are you off school now, or what's going on?
I'm going back next month on the 2nd, so yeah, I'm done with finals now.
Okay, so you off this week and you off next week?
Yes. Let me see, today's the 25th, so 5 more days.
One of our audience, Sam Wong, said you always here. Yes, he is always here, and thank you for noticing. And he is very kind. He is my emergency guest. When I cannot find anyone to be here, he's always helped to fill in, and he's well-rounded person. He know a lot about Cambodia politics. He live in America, so he's pretty good. He's filling in, so I'm always glad that he's here. So okay, let bring all my guests back on. Thank you guys for being here today, and I appreciate that. Our topic today is Rainsy campaign to help impoverish Cambodians. Basically, since May 16, Rainsy have put his watch on basically raffle. We can buy raffle ticket. Rainsy watch costs $5. That's what he is selling it for $5. And everyone anywhere in America, in Canada, in Asia, in Europe can buy the raffle ticket for $5 a piece. And on June the 6th, he will draw the raffle, and whoever the person that he draw will receive his watch. So it's the watch that he's been wearing for a while, and it's a watch that is very it's out there that people can see them. Let me show the raffle ticket so that way our audience and our guests have an idea of what it looked like. So this is the watch. It's the model is Cam 007. It's the ticket is $5, and also the cost is also $5. So he actually breaking even by selling this watch. Let me start by Bong Sita. I know you have heard before, and you probably involved or help with the raffle ticket. Can you help to explain to our audience that have not aware of this raffle ticket that's going on right now? Why is Mr. Rainsy is selling his watch? What is the purpose? And then we have Sammady to chime in if you miss anything.
Yeah, sure. Well, the main three main purpose that he's raffling out this ticket, this watch. One is to raise money to help Cambodian people who life have been affected by the COVID-19 in Cambodia, and two is to raise awareness. How bad COVID-19 affected the Cambodian people in Cambodia, how it affects the regular people, the garment, many garment factory has to be closed. So those people who work, they have no jobs. And the regular market vendors and street vendors, they cannot go out and sell their products. The taxi driver, the motorcycle taxi driver, teacher, student, many people who've been affected by the COVID-19, even though the cases are not high in Cambodia, but the lockdown, the craziness in Cambodia, the law, the regulation, everything is just not making much sense to the rest of us around the world. Thirdly, Luke Rainsy is doing this is to show the people around the world that even though he doesn't have much material stuff to help the people, unlike Hun Sen, it's like a slap in the wrist for Hun Sen, literally a slap in the wrist, because it's about the watch. Hun Sen's wearing millions of dollar watch and have many in his collections, and Rainsy is raffle out a $5 watch to raise money for the people. What is the president or the prime minister of Cambodia is doing with his wealth? He's not giving out he's not selling any of his watch. He's not spending any of the money that he got from the world donation to for COVID-19 for Cambodian in Cambodia. He received millions of dollars to for that for the people who are affected by COVID. But does he spend on any of those? Spend out any of those money toward people? So that's the third thing that Rainsy was trying to show, that he doesn't have much material stuff, but he has the heart, and the people around the world also have the heart to help, wanting to help Cambodian people going through the crisis right now. And that's what the campaign of raffling out the ticket is about.
Thank you, Bong. Did you buy any?
Yes, I buy plenty, and I help sell the ticket, in my community as well.
Thank you, Bong. Thank you for always helping the community and always being on the show. Yes. It's only cost $5, and that is to help Cambodian who are affected by COVID-19, where the Prime Minister Hun Sen is neglecting the people, that especially people in the red zone, what they call the red zone, where they trying to contain the virus. The Cambodian people in the red zone cannot enter or exiting their neighborhood. As a result, people when they lock down, they don't lock down just one day. It's probably going to be 2 to 3 weeks, and for no particular, basically there's no warning. People would just get a notice to lock down. So let me put Sammady on and have him. Sammady, did Bong Sita miss anything on the campaign for the watch, or would you like to add anything for our audience who have not aware of the campaign? I cannot hear you, Sammady.
Now, Sita explained everything very clearly, very informative on the topic. I don't have anything to add. So basically, kind of similar to her, like just to help people in Cambodia due to COVID. As we can see, Mr. Sam Rainsy watch is only $5, but we raise almost like a lot of money to help people in Cambodia, while Prime Minister Hun Sen have millions of dollars with many $1 million watches, but he never put it up for bidding for people around him to purchase, so they can also help Cambodian people during COVID crisis. But instead, he just want to seize this opportunity to make money. As we can see, donations from people to buy COVID vaccine. We don't know where it's at. We have the Ministry of Commerce selling food to people now because he blocked all the route and supplies into Phnom Penh, the capital city of Cambodia. So that's just a few things that I would like to mention.
Thank you, Sammady. Our audience, how being aware that the regime how three code on the three when they lock down. So the red zone, I think yellow and dark yellow. Basically, in the red zone, people are not allowed to get in and get out to look for food because it's a critical village or critical place that they want to contain the virus. Basically, those places consider a very infection prone area, so they are not allowed to get in and get out. And as a result, people are starving. People are not being prepared for food, and people are not able to get out and look for food. I want Brittany. She in Columbus, Ohio. I am in Los Angeles, California. In Los Angeles, California, there is no lockdown, but we do have curfew. We do have where people maybe like at 10 o'clock, they don't want the community to travel, only people that what they call essential worker to travel. So I would like Brittany to share her experience in Columbus, Ohio, and how if there's any lockdown in the state of Ohio, and see what is the difference between the lockdown in America and also lockdown in Cambodia. Hi, Brittany.
Hi. Currently,
how is Columbus, Ohio?
Sure. As the time goes on, our restrictions are a little bit less, and soon they will be lifting the mask mandate here for fully vaccinated people. We have a curfew at 11 p.m., but it's not so strongly enforced. Of course, the essential workers are free to travel. And as I said, over the past few months, it's been very flexible, I would say. And our rates of infection have been going down. And we have, in my opinion, pretty strong campaigns to get people vaccinated. And we have a lottery to encourage people to become vaccinated too.
Also, so that is in Ohio. I forgot. Yeah. I did read the news about encourage people to, yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, lucky.
Yeah. So starting tomorrow for the next 5 weeks, they will draw one person who has been vaccinated in Ohio to win a scholarship, or to win one drawing for a scholarship and one drawing for $1 million.
Well, that's a sweet deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Brittany, for sharing that experience. And how is the food situation? Because in Cambodia, when you in the red zone where they lock down, there's no food there. There's no food coming in, no food coming out, and people are not allowed to go in to sell food. In Columbus, Ohio, what do people do when, I know that you said there's no lockdown, but there's a restriction? What happened with people that does not go to work, mm-hmm. and like people working in the restaurant and people working like at the theater? they are being affected by the closing, by also the social distance and the capacity of the restaurant business. You're not allowed to have so many people in it, and as a result, the server people that work in the restaurant industry get really affected. How does the government, how does the Ohio government help with that on a food situation?
We have a lot of community resources here, whether it be religious organizations or schools or nonprofits, government groups that have been supporting and with food donations. I would say every 2 blocks there is a food drive in which you can drive your car through and you don't even have to get out, and someone loads your car up with food for those people who are food insecure. I have been talking to my friends and people that I know, colleagues and such in Cambodia, and comparing the situation there. It's very desperate, very dire to compare the resources that we have here, the social systems that we set up, and the government support that we have here in comparison to, of course, what we see in Cambodia. And it's unfortunate to think about a watch, for example, that's more than $1 million, while people are in very desperate circumstances in Cambodia. So that's one big disparity that I've noticed between my community here and my old community in Cambodia.
What is the people that inside Cambodia been talking about during this COVID-19 in Cambodia? What have you heard beside? Because I've been, we've been saying that people are hunger, people are, they've been locked down. What does other people send you a different perspective than us? We don't want people to say, well, you Cambodian, you talk to only people who scream and yell. How about you, Brittany? I know you speak to other people that in Cambodia, different perspective. What do they say about COVID-19 in Cambodia?
Some people have been hesitant to get the vaccine because they're not sure of the source of the vaccine. That's one thing that I hear often. And another thing I hear is due to these lockdowns, especially in densely populated areas, people are without food. They have become reliant on NGOs and groups that give food rather than relying on the government. And people are just afraid. People are afraid of getting COVID. People are afraid of what's happening in Cambodia generally, I would say.
Thank you, Brittany. Let me pull up some numbers so that way let me put all my guests, anyone can chime in at any time. This is the 7-day data into Cambodia. So the 7-day average for COVID-19 is 460 cases. But yesterday, May 24, was 556 cases. As of yesterday, according to the data, it's 25,761 people have been infected. 18,359 people have recovered from COVID-19. Unfortunately, as of yesterday, 179 people have passed away. So the number is still there, and I believe the lockdown was lockdown in different areas in Cambodia, like in Phnom Penh, in Khmer and stuff. The purpose of the lockdown is to help the situations, make sure the rate's going down. But if you're looking at the rate, it does not go down, and it's only climbing up. Sammady or Sita, do you want to chime in? How do we get the rate to go down in America? How do you get the rate to go down, Sammady?
Well, in the U.S., the goal is to get everyone vaccinated, and if you're sick, just stay home. The government's not gonna throw you into a red zone with everyone, because if you are in a lockdown and there's a military police outside enforcing the law, how are you going to go out buy medicine and food if you attracted COVID? Because if you have COVID, you need like NyQuil, a proper nutrition to fight with the disease. But in Cambodia, they lock you in a place with thousands of other people. What if one of them is sick and you don't know, and everyone in that zone is attracted COVID? So as you can see in Cambodia, there's no proper nutrition too. So there's no medicine, there's no food, because those people that got locked down, they don't have they can't go to work because they got locked in a zone. So they basically go hungry. Food security is real in Cambodia, and the government seem to not take any action to help those people that is in need. So yeah.
Thank you, Sammady. Let's talk about the watch. Now our audience have a little bit understanding of why we doing the watch campaign. Why is it important that we help with the watch campaign, and also why where those money from the campaign going to? The money going to go directly helping people that affected by COVID-19. This it might not show up, but this is Mr. Samrangsi watch that he is putting on a raffle for $5. Anyone can purchase the raffle to win the watch. So on June the 6th, 2021, he will pull the raffle, and whoever the winner will receive the watch. Brittany, is it too much for $5? How do you think about the price? How do you think about the price of the raffle? Is it too much? Is it too little? It should be increased, or what? How do you feel about that?
No, I think it's the perfect amount because it's symbolic of what he paid for the watch, and the value of such an item for someone who is a public servant. I don't believe that a public servant should have such flashy items like clothes or watches or cars or houses or things like that. So I think $5 is the perfect amount.
Perfect amount.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brittany. Let me put Bong Sita in. Bong, how's $5 for the raffle? Can everybody afford $5?
Yes, $5 is the perfect amount, perfect price, just like Brittany said. The reason, because some people, they want to donate toward the cause, and they don't have much. Many Cambodian community, they live on fixed income, and they want to participate. And the $5, they can buy just one ticket, or they can buy 50 ticket, 100 ticket, whatever they feel comfortable with. But the $5 is cheap enough for the people to participate. For people who live in fixed income, and if they want to donate more, they buy more tickets. So yeah, it's a symbolic gesture that they want to help participate in this campaign to raise money for the people who are affected by the COVID in Cambodia.
Thank you, Bong. We keep hearing that Samrangsi wear a $5 watch, and all my three guests already mentioned it, that Hun Sen watch is so much more expensive. Let's see how much it's expensive it is. So this is I think from one of our show that they put it together. So one of his watch is almost 2.5 million, and the other one is almost 1.1 million. The other one is, I believe that's 3.2 million. The metal one where he's sitting down and play golf is actually only $826,000. So since our audience talk about his watch, that's 5 watches, and if you add it up, more than an average watch is more than $1 million. Since we're talking about how expensive Prime Minister Hun Sen watch is, let's look at how much did he actually make. According to, I have the data how much he make. he made his annual salary is under $30,000. So monthly he bring home $2,500. Weekly he make 500, so say $564. So daily, on a daily, he go to work. For the last, I think this data is 2018, 2019, he make an average of $112 per day. If you do the math, he make $30,000 annually. In order for him to afford $1 million watch, I mean, he have to save his money, not spending a penny of his money in 33 years to afford a watch. So that show how corrupt it is in Cambodia, and also not just him, it's his family. His wife also, a couple weeks ago, people were talking about how she went out with a nice clothing, nice watch as well. So their combined income alone cannot even take 33 years just to afford a watch. But according to this, that's just a picture that we can see is 5 beautiful watches. Let me see. I have some more data. Let me see if I can show. This is clearly a beautiful watches. So that this one, at the same time, we have Mr. Rainsy, who is daily announcing to the community, to the international community, to help Cambodia, to sending help for Cambodia. And as right now, our campaign is also helping to help Cambodia, to help them with COVID-19, meaning to buy food to support them. Let me have Sammady chime in on these beautiful, extravagant watch that Hun Sen is wearing right now. Sammady, how do you feel about those watches?
Well, I feel like he neglected the most important issues in Cambodia, which is COVID, because the issues of hunger and starvations in our country has gone on way too long, from people going to sleep hungry during COVID in the red zone to many death of young ones. As you can see, I don't know if that number is true. The death from COVID, it seemed too little. The government might try to manipulate with the death rate, and those people don't get enough food. And in Cambodia, 80% of the income, the revenue is from rice field, which is agricultural. And instead of spending those money into helping people in the red zone, by for example, put that Patek Philippe or Richard Mille that cost around 1.5 million to bid, and people around him would gladly want a watch from Sammady Hun Sen as a memory. So I'm pretty sure they can raise like at least $5 to $10 million to help people in Cambodia, which is plenty to buy food to help people during this COVID crisis. But instead, I haven't seen him take any action to help those people. If people want food, they have to buy from the government, from the Ministry of Commerce, like I stated. So I believe this is not the right thing to do as a leader of a country to help the citizen. Just show him how selfish he is.
Sammady, what's wrong with the Prime Minister having a nice watch? What's wrong with that?
Well,
why can't he? Shouldn't he deserve after in the country? I mean, ruling the country for over 35 years. Shouldn't he deserve to have a nice watch?
Well, of course, everyone deserves to have a nice watch, but not 5 watches that cost like over $500,000 with only $30,000 that he make yearly, which is about the minimum wage in the U.S. That's how much people make. So, and Cambodia is not a rich country like Thailand or Singapore or the U.S. Cambodia is in the list of the poorest country in Southeast Asia, where the minimum wage is $120 per month, where people can't even buy enough food to eat. So this is not as a leader of the country, it is not right to show $1.5 million watch during COVID. This is to show that how the society in Cambodia is. Another day, I saw people driving a Rolls Royce, which costs like $500,000, but in Cambodia, with tax and everything, costs $1 million to help donate to people and to poor people. So basically, you're not going there to help people. You're just going there to show off how rich you are to among the poor people in Cambodia. So just selfish on from the leader perspective.
Thank you, Sammady. Let me have Bong Sita chime in. Bong, what's wrong? I mean, is it okay for a leadership to wear like 2.3 million? Where according to what I read, it said despite the average per capita, which is GDP in Cambodia being around 1,500 per year, that's come out to be, if the average citizen make 1,500 per year, that's come out to be like $4.10 per day. The average Cambodian make that's the average, $4.10. At the same time, the prime minister is walking around with a $2.3 million, where he's only make what, under $30,000 in America. That's considered a minimum wage job. I cannot hear you, Bong.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, well, it's very clear that the salary that he has would not be able to afford that watch. But where would he get the money and buy all those collection of watch? And that's what we see in public. What about the one that he doesn't show off? And how many more are there? And so where are those money come from? Raise a question and you'll find the answer yourself. It's from the corruption, from the money that pour in from the international world that they are donating toward the people, but it seems like it goes into the government pocket, personally into their pockets, not into the people to help people. And all those resources that the natural resource Cambodia has that make millions of dollars each year, where are those money? Of course, he pays salary for government worker, for military and stuff, but so it's clearly we know how he how he can afford those watches. It's from the corrupted money. There's no question about it.
Thank you, Bong. And also, let me, before I let you go, Sam Rainsy watch is $5 compared to his watch, which is $2.33 million. Would you want to win Sam Rainsy watch? What is the significance that people, I mean, one of the reason people want to help Cambodia, help the people that are really affected by COVID-19, and another thing is, I want his watch. What is the reason would you want his watch, Bong?
Well, it's not so much wanting the watch. Well, it has significant, because he's one of the good-hearted leader. He, based on the past activity that he's been doing for the people, for Cambodian people, people want to have that memories of Sam Rainsy, when whether he's become a leader in Cambodia in the future or not, he has been an idol for many Cambodian people around the world, not just in Cambodia. So that's why many people are willing to pay a lot of money to raffle out, to buy those raffle tickets. But at the same time, people want, many other people that I sell the raffle to, they said they just want to participate in donating the money for the cause, that Sam Rainsy is raising to donate to the COVID victim in Cambodia. So, it's not about the value of the watch. It's about where the heart is and what he's trying to do to help the people. So that's what the campaign of raffling out the ticket, Sam Rainsy watch at this point. Yeah.
Thank you, Bong. Yes, like you said, the last time I heard from Hon San, I believe was the vaccine donations where people donate over $100 million just to buy vaccine so that way it can protect Cambodian. At the same time, I have not heard him come to live on his Facebook or on television to urge his community or urge Cambodian to help donate for food in the red zone. I haven't heard that. The only what I heard was I heard the them selling food, selling water, selling noodle. Those water is owned by his daughter. I believe the name of the water company, I believe it's called Vital Bottled Water, and also that's owned by two of his daughter-in-law. And then there's another instant noodle called Meejet instant noodle, which is owned by the his people, in his inner circle. That it's not only that he's not announcing, hey, the international community help the my people that desperate. At the same time, he's setting up, oh, you're not able to go outside and get food, you're not allowed to leave the red zone. But at the same time, his government, I mean his whatever they call that, he would set it up the booth and sell the food to them. Have you seen that, Bong?
Yes, definitely. They even wear government uniform and government trucks with trucks loads of goods, products that's supposedly to be distributed to the people, not to sell to people, but instead they turn around and sell them and make profit and put them who know where, in their pockets or into the government pocket. We don't know, but that's not how it's supposed to be. So I also want to add that this raffle ticket is not just for the Cambodian community that can, that can purchase it. Anybody who wants to help the victim of the COVID-19 who's been affected in Cambodia can purchase. Contact, I'm sure Linda will put some link in the in the show, or and just contact people in your community as well to purchase if you want to help and participate to buy the raffle ticket for the watch, to donate to the cause. So anybody can help. $5 here, $5 there will make a big difference. And people, government, we cannot rely on government to donate. So we have to rely on the Cambodian people in Cambodia, have to rely on outsider like us, raising money to donate to help them, because the lockdown in Cambodia is absolute lockdown. It's not the same way that we have it here in America. So they desperately need help. So please, contribute to your to the cause. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Bong. Yes, I believe a couple days ago, I think that the link is still up, the story on the CNRP America Facebook, the story how a contact information, I will put it on later as well. The contact information is anyone interested in purchasing the raffle. You can contact Bong Sita, you can contact Sammady, you can contact me. I am in the Los Angeles areas. I'm in Pomona, California. I can do that. And Bong Sita is in Northern California. You can also contact her. And I know there's many other chapters, these CNRP America chapters that also can assist you with the ticket as well.
Mm-hmm. You're freezing, Linda.
Well, if you want to donate. Brittany, sorry for the internet connection. It sounded like glitching a minute ago.
That's okay. Was there a specific question?
No, I have not asked any question. I was looking at my internet and it's go blank. I was like, oh, not again. I've been having that issue. How for $5, how can the community of Columbus, Ohio, help to raise the ticket? Is that what they can do to get $5? Can you help to maybe give them an idea what can they do to get the ticket for $5? What can they do to save $5?
Yeah, good question. I think we have to look at the expenses and the priorities that we have. And I think that most people can spare $5 for such a cause, because $5 here is maybe a Starbucks coffee or something quick to eat, right? But $5 in Cambodia can go much further than that. And I think it's our duty to make that sacrifice. It's a very small sacrifice for a big gain that can help many people right now. So whether it be one single raffle ticket or 2 or 3, depending on your ability, I think it's necessary for all of us, including myself, to support this campaign.
Thank you. Yes, I totally agree. I said it many times before. It's a cup of coffee, and we drink so many cup of coffee per day. So sacrificing 1 cup of coffee per day for 7 days, we can actually get 7 raffle tickets. So thank you, Brittany, for that idea. I totally agree, and I think that we all a Cambodian community and also outside Cambodia, anybody can buy the raffle ticket. It's not restricted to you Cambodian or not. So international community can buy the ticket, and $5 a piece, and it's directly will help Cambodian inside Cambodia who's affected by COVID-19. I have not asked the question of what is the affected. I want to have somebody come up and basically say what's going on, why is it being affected. We in USA, we do affect by COVID-19, but to the degree that we go starving, no, we don't. And let me bring somebody out. Hi, Sammady. How does people in Cambodia affected by COVID-19? I said that they're being locked down. Can you describe the lockdown? Can you describe what's going on at the supermarket, and what is the life is like that we is so much more severe than in America?
Well, you have to see in the U.S. when there's COVID, we receive stimulus check from the government with $1,200 for everyone, which is a lot of money. If that being this, even half of that is given to people in Cambodia, and another reason is because in Cambodia, people live day by day without stocking on food because they don't have money. They can only make $120 a month, paying rent, paying for electricity bill, buy stuff on miscellaneous expense, but they just can't afford food to buy like stocking up, like go to the market like in the US where we go to Costco, stock up food, bring back home, and we are set for the week. In Cambodia, it's not like that. People live on a day-to-day basis. They go to market, buy food, come back home, make money, go to the market, buy food, and come back home again. So I believe it's just different, because also the government is not being very supportive to the people in Cambodia, especially those affected by COVID. If they found out that you got COVID, they either throw you in the red zone or in the hospital next to everyone who have COVID. So I believe that is the major difference between the two governments. Here we won't go starving. As you can see, my little brother, my cousin, if the government know that they receive lunch money, instead of giving out lunch, they can just call them to go to school and bring foods to their home to eat, so they won't be starving. But in Cambodia, it's not like that. if you don't have money during COVID, you don't have nothing to eat. So even if you don't attract COVID, you might die from starvation. So that's what I have to say.
Thank you, Sammady. Bong Kam-hun is asking a really great question. Recently, the U.S. government is donating $11 million. Will Cambodians see that money, or can he donate it to help out, or is that her question is, can Hun Sen donate the money that the U.S. government provide over $100 million? The answer will, can he? Yes, can, but why wouldn't he? Somebody?
I believe he rather put that into his investment in watches, because as you can see, he loves collecting watches, and also those money probably half go to Hun Sen and half go to his subordinate. We don't know, because in Cambodia, everywhere is corruption. From educational system, if you want to pass, all you have to do is pay for classes from to teaching and professing. You can just pass and get a doctorate degree if you want to. So I don't know. So I don't know how Cambodian people will receive those money that the other country donated to Cambodia. So yeah, that's what I have to say.
Thank you, Sammady. Yes, I'm answering Bong Kam-hun questions. Can Hun Sen donate? Yes, he can. Will he? Unlikely. And that's the reason why we're here today. That's the reason why Sam Rainsy is having a campaign to sell his watch, because Hun Sen have not done anything. Hun Sen have been watching COVID-19 since he probably know to COVID-19 since the end of 2019. And in 2020, he absolutely did nothing. And in 2021, he absolutely did nothing. Now that he has, beside putting people on restriction, beside tell people 3 do and 3 done to help curb the COVID-19, there is no plan on how he's going to get people out of the COVID-19 pandemic, and also how he's supposed to feed the poor in that in the lockdown zone. Absolutely, there's no plan. Absolutely nothing at all. Let me bring all three of my guests out if they want to say anything, because our show is at the end already. And I am thankful for all my guests. I would like to have Brittany, Bong Sita, and then Sammady to say the last word before we conclude. Go ahead, Brittany. You have the floor.
Thank you. Again, I just want to thank you for the time and the invitation. It was an honor to be with you all this hour to talk about this really important topic. And our work continues, and I hope everyone will consider buying at least one raffle ticket. Thank you.
Thank you, Brittany. Okay, now, Bong Sita.
Yeah, thank you, Brittany, for coming on. It's very honored to have you on the show. And also just want to add that please help purchase the ticket. It's a very small expense. That you can help with, save somebody a meal. A $5 can go a long way. Like everybody said, can purchase a meal for a family, or maybe a whole day of meals, not just one meal, maybe a whole day of meals for a whole family. And that's a very small price for us, but it's a very big deal for them. Thank you for having me on today as well.
Thank you, Bong Sita. Somebody put on your business degree and let's sell the ticket. You have the last one today.
So I believe it's only right, it's only normal to donate, because donating is a selfless act. One of the major positive effects of donating money to this campaign is to simply feel good about giving to your own people, Cambodian people, who is currently in need of food, because they are not like us. They don't get stimulus checks from the government. They have to buy food from the government during this time. So being able to give back to those people that is in need help you achieve a greater sense of personal satisfaction and growth. Like, oh, I'm Cambodian. Cambodian always help Cambodians. Khmer chui Khmer. I always hear those words. So why not helping other Cambodian people during this time in need? Because I believe most of us, even around my generation, we spend like $9 monthly for Netflix. Why not and coffee, like you said? Why not spend just $5? It's not that much to help put meals on the table for Cambodian people that is currently being affected by COVID-19 without the government helping them. So they on their own. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Sammady, and thank you all three of my guests. Let me sum up what our show today. Our show today is Some Rainsy campaign to help impoverished Cambodians. His campaign is to sell he's selling his watch for $5. Anyone can buy the raffle to basically to win his watch, and that $5 per ticket is going to go directly to Cambodian that's affected by COVID-19, whereas right now people are hungry, people do not have access to outside or inside, and at the same time, like I read before, the average Cambodian make $4.10 per day, and to making $4.10 a day, to know that there is a lockdowns going on, to go and purchase food for 2 to 3 weeks is impossible. And it's not that Cambodians love to go to supermarket to get fresh food and every day, no, because that's what they can afford is $4.10. For us to sacrifice $5 per day, for us to not buying a Starbucks coffee for the morning, it should be an act of selfless. It's an act of a no-brainer for everyone who want to support. And at the same time, when you supporting the community, you're supporting Cambodian who actually starving. It starts small. It doesn't start large. And $5 is small. Like my audience, Brittany, Sita, and Sammady said $5 is a cup of coffee. All of us agree it's a cup of coffee. And I don't think Netflix is $9. I think you have to watch more than that. $9 you get basic. So let's start basic. So yes, for $5, anyone can chip in and help buy the raffle ticket that will go directly and help the Cambodian that affected by COVID-19 in Cambodia. And let me read some of the comment. Miss, I believe, I think it's a she, Paula Nope. She said she purchased 20 tickets for Cambodian. So thank you so much. That means Bong Paula that help out. And actually thank you to our audience who are here, like Johnny Santiana, Sung Net, that's my fan every week, and also Bong Samantha Supal Singh, always comment and always participating as an audience. Also, let me see, there's other people that here, let me call them out before we leave today. And thank you for their support. Thank you for making the show. Thank you for being at the show. And also thank you, my guests, for being on the show. And also thank you, Namin Buna Chon, that always tune in. As always, Sam Moon, he's always, I think, from New Zealand, that very big fan of our show. Carmen Chinese, that she's always here sharing and always sharing our shows. So, and Hannah Pratt, she's always here watching. Good evening, Bong, and good evening to all my audience. Elaine Mine, Soteri U, David Dead, he's always here. Kevin Kim, Linda Long, Pine Sari. So that's all our audience, and thank you so much for being here. Thank you our guests, and thank you our audience. We going to talk about mental health or self-care next week, so tune in. It's important that we take care of ourselves. So until then, I hope you take care of yourself, and I hope that you motivated enough today to get yourself a raffle ticket at the same time. And also I will put a link on, and thank you, and a good night, everybody.